All right, beautiful. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast. I'm Patrick.
James.
Two guys, one cup. And special guest.
The specialist guest for the last podcast of the year, the Christmas special with our holiday colors. Pat, represent. Don't bully this man.
I fucking love the shirts, guys. Fucking love them, man.
Yeah, I was doing last minute Christmas shopping at Spencer's.
And who is our special guest?
Our special guest is Steve. Let's go, dude. And we got to take a moment to thank Steve, because if you guys don't know his background, but again, I want to really appreciate you, Steve, for even doing the podcast at all, giving us any of your time. We love you. We appreciate you and everything you do for the sport.
Yep.
And right now, more than ever, like most guys tag out. And this guy, raw.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you so much for having me on the show. And the podcast has been great, man. I watch you guys all the time, and your vibe, your positive fucking vibes all the time, man. Throwing out good shit is all I want to hear, man. And that's why I always watch you guys, and just keep it up, man, honestly, because it's just been great.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, dude. We appreciate that. Quick note, how did you meet Steve Walker?
So me and Steve, we met, I think it was the first time I was at Knuckles Up. So sorry, no, we were at first. We talked over the phone and had a couple of conversations here and there. I know he's a phenomenal referee and he was a phenomenal puller. So I asked him, to see if he can help us out and everything else with the first battle of Tri-State that you guys were at, which was absolutely phenomenal. Place was a little bit too small, but it was so overcrowded. It was so many people, I want to say it was probably 150, even more people there at the time. You guys were there too as well. And Steve, as always, puts a great show on, man. And he ref there too as well. And then we really connected. I want to say after everything else at Knuckles Up, took a couple pictures, talked about him and his family and everybody else. And now literally every single time I have a tournament, he's there as my head ref. And, I have Tracy there doing the brackets. I have his daughter there helping with everything out, doing the registration. So they're like family, to tell you the truth. They're really great people.
That's awesome. I want to ask you, how do you feel about arm wrestling? Like just the sport and the community? Like,
honestly, community is great. There's 99% of the community that's phenomenal. There's always that 1% that isn't. But besides that, I love arm wrestling. I love pulling, love promoting, love sponsoring. I'm all about it. And just in general, I don't want to be like to break, have a broken record and repeat what everybody else has said. I just want to make the sport great. I'm not. I want to make the sport different. I want to bring it into a different realm. I want to make things a little bit more. Like, I don't know if you guys seen the Montana, when we went down to Montana and stuff and everything like that.
Did we see it? We were fucking supporting it. YouTube video.
No, I was watching it live as I was watching the UFC fights. So me and we were watching you on this side and the UFC fights here and yelling and screaming at Sam and Garrett and everybody. It was fucking awesome. So,
dude, it was so sick, man. Just to have something like that and have something different like that. One, to have everybody travel, on a party bus and party and, going out there, going to the airport, everybody has a team and traveling to a different state, and killing another state, because we ended up killing almost like actually 3. It was like Canada, Montana, and Washington, and Ohio, because Jolene Anderson from Ohio. So, but that's what really I want to make it different. I want to make it like it's not just about arm wrestling. I want to make it like to stand out. I mean? It's kind of like, if you remember like that UFC show that they had where people like were in a house and stuff all together.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I want to break it into another level. So where people that don't arm wrestle get interested in arm wrestling because they have to, because it's so attractive, because it's such a great sport, because people understand what arm wrestling is. And it's not just, people don't even know how to arm wrestle until they get up to the table. And then they're like, oh, it's not, oh, I thought this is what you do. And then they're like, holy shit, this is completely different than what I thought. I want people to understand that and to know that and to reach that level to be like, you know what, this is a lot more than what I thought. And that's kind of really where I want to go with the sport.
Yep. I like that, dude. I really do. Like I said, the concept was brought up to us by Garrett when he said you guys were starting this thing. And I was like, I wonder how they're going to do it. And I wish I want to hear your vision, what got you into it, dude. Like, because again, I found out about you on Facebook, you guys were hosting the Tri-State thing. I said, "Oh, this is fucking cool.
Let's
Like,
do it.
we got more arm wrestling going on closer to us, so like we can actually get to these events." And the more I saw, like, and I just want to take a moment to say that we got to, as a community, anyone on Facebook, if you guys like arm wrestling, or even if you're friends with us and you don't really care with the sport, hit that share button, because the more people get to see this stuff, maybe that guy that didn't want to get in the sport or didn't know what he wanted to do, find something. And
Yep.
not even guys, girls. This is such a fun sport. Like
Especially
you,
women.
women, yeah. And like you said, with the community, I have done a lot of different sports. And I think arm wrestling is one of the most forgiving sports, as far as like I could go to war with a dude on a table. You think we want a fist fight, but then right after we compliment each other, and I'll even tell the guy, "Hey, this is where you went wrong," or he'll tell me, "This is where I went wrong," and he'll give me training advice or shit like that. It's so cool. Like,
Mhm.
I love this community. I've never met cooler dudes, and met like standalone, probably ride or die guys till the day I'm out of the business. So,
Yep.
Yeah, that being said, too, I want to congratulate both you guys on both your wins, the matches that you had too. Especially with you with that big guy, man. Holy shit. You know, I've always had my money on you with that. You know what I mean? I was because you're a warrior. You know what I mean? I've always seen you pull so many different guys, you know, that people I want to say I don't want to say they counted you out, but they thought differently. And then as soon as they seen you pull, they're like, holy shit. I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like, he's no joke, man. So that's why, you know, putting you on this new platform, you know, especially in Battle of Tri-State too. And you were going up against even a bigger guy now, you know, he's Chris Bird is no joke, man. You know what I mean? So but same thing. Remember my name, you know, James Mason. So that's gonna be, you know, for him to remember that time, you know, that's gonna really put something in him to think about shit, man. I didn't think this guy was going to be able to pull through the way he did, and I know the way you pull, and I know how you can pull. So I can't wait for that match, man.
again, I want to, yeah, we're talking about that. Thank you very much for thinking of me, because me and Pat talk about it all the time. I'm like, man, how do these guys get in with Steve? Like, how do they get into these super matches? Like, they look so much fun. Like, again, we went to your first tournament, stacked. I'm ignorant to this sport, and I
Yeah.
want to apologize that. Like, I know the elite guys, and like I've done this since I was a kid, like at fairgrounds, but I don't realize like the I want to say like real elites, like you know what I mean, the everyday elites that have you know, a normal job but are still fucking world level.
Mhm.
And was it Wayne Withers? Or
Yeah.
Yes. Wayne Withers.
Yep.
yeah, we got there early.
I knew who he was.
Yeah, Wayne's in the corner, and Pat's like, "Dude, it's great to meet you." And I was like, "Oh, who's this guy?" And Pat's like, "Dude, this guy's fucking awesome." And I
Yeah,
was like,
Wayne
"Oh,
Withers
dude,
will be at Battle of Tri-State 2 again, so he will be there.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude's a
Yeah,
savage, man."
yeah, he already posted it up there. He goes, he even said, he goes, I saw that Battle of Tri-State 2. He goes, I'll be there. I said, all right, man. So that's going to be another battle because Steve Walker's going to be there again. Paul Cruz is going to be there again. Nick Stone's going to be there again. So all these guys are going to be there again. Just having those four stacked heavyweights there is going to be a fucking battle of a tournament.
Dude,
It's going to be so
Steve
fucking
is
good.
every time I watch Steve Walker pull, it's just amazing. That guy's
It's
awesome.
I, I learned
And Paul Cruz.
all those guys, dude. I was so ignorant, and then when I started seeing these guys at your tournament, I was like, "Oh, that guy's good. That guy's good.
Yeah.
Fuck, that dude's good." And then you got, like you said, all these titans in every class where you're like, you don't know what the outcome is, but you're so excited. And I get Steve, dude. Steve like brought up past trauma in my life when he was reffing, man. The fucking like
not
do
move.
not move.
I
Like,
love it.
oh
Yeah.
man,
Do not move. Do
yeah.
not move.
Oh, dude, I
He's
was
my
like,
favorite ref to pull with.
I never had anxiety until then, dude. I was like, fuck, am I moving? Like, I didn't. But, oh, dude, they're all good dudes. And like you said, but I couldn't believe it. Like you said, your first tournament, did you know it was going to be that sick of a turnout?
I didn't, but slowly how like all the likes and the people that were coming and everything else like that, I knew it was going to be a big turnout. I just didn't know it was going to be that big. And I even made, you know, kind of wanted to get a bigger in a different place at the time. And you know, we decided at the time, no, it's all right. This is going to be big enough, but it is what it is. You know, you learn from your mistakes. It'll never happen again. So now the event's going to be in a 3 times bigger place. It's going to be at the Homewood Suites Inn, where I held up the Arnold Classic qualifier this year. So it's going to be
Yeah,
absolutely
kudos to that.
oh, dude, it's going to be an absolutely beautiful venue. My wife's going to be the one that's going to be cooking the food, so we'll have more than enough food. Yeah, like I said, free food, free drinks. The awards are going to be 10 times better. I'm designing the awards now, so they won't be like the first battle of Tri-State. It'll be literally probably the best awards that I came up with, besides the tables that I just designed for the last one. Everybody loved those tables that I came up with the awards on that. Everybody was just like, dude, what did you? And it's just the difference, that you just change just a little bit than what everybody else is doing. And that's what's going to make you stand out just a little bit more. Same thing with the super matches. You know what I mean? Like a lot of the guys, all these super matches, we have about now, I think we have about 10 super matches that are going to be on Battle of the Tri-State 2. And every single super match is either they're fighting for a spot. They're either fighting for the 16th spot, the number 1 spot ranked on airs. They're fighting actually 4 of the matches. They're fighting for their spot to go to Florida with us for the City Slickers in May. So it's just everybody's going to be killing themselves, doing whatever they got to do to win. And those are the matches that you want to put together. Those are the matches that everybody wants to see, not something that's going to be, oh, it's going to be quick. He's going to blow him out. It's going to be. I want to see battles, man. I want to see going at it back and forth. I want to see every single match be 3-2, 3-2 if I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Oh, dude, I love the enthusiasm. Like, you love the sport. That's what makes it so cool. And like you said, you put the extra little effort in to your trophies, the thought, and the free food. By the way,
Awesome.
fucking delicious. I felt so rude when I got the food. I was like, hey, who do I pay? They're like, oh, you can tip, but it's free. And I'm like, I feel dirty just taking this food for free, dude. Like,
It was good.
it was delicious. The whole, again, and like you said, I don't think you messed up at all. I think doing the venue, your first one, you're being realistic. You're like, you know what I mean? We don't know until people actually come. And
Right.
I love a cramped space. Like, I know some people hate it, but like when I'm right next to a dude and he's like, what's your weight class? And I'm like, oh, I'm this one. And then there's so many dudes that are way more jacked than me. They're like, you pulling pro? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, fuck that. And I'm like, I don't know, dude. You look like you'd mess my day up. And then you bring fucking Ron Maney, former world champion. And I was like, damn, dude, I'm pulling the world champion the first round of the first. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, I may
it
have
was
beat
a
him.
stack class. Every class was stacked that day, man. I mean, like everyone and everything through was just a stacked class, and that's what I expect to from this time. And from what I'm seeing, everybody that's going, and I only posted it only a few weeks ago, and I think there's about 40 something, almost 50 people that are already going, plus everybody that messaged me. And I don't only put that out, but I actually personally message a lot of people to let them know, this is what I want you to. I want you to come. This is what's going to happen. So it's not just I'm putting it out to the world, but I'm putting it out to you personally. So if you know that I'm reaching out to you personally, you get a little bit more involved. That you know what? It's not just he wants everybody to come. He wants me to come. He wants my fucking team to come. He wants us to come. I mean, and that's really what I do want. I mean, I want not just, for somebody just regular to post something out there and be like, yeah, I'll probably go. I'll see what it is. If you get a direct message from the person that's throwing the event and is reaching out to you and saying that, hey, I'd love for you to come to this tournament. There's going to be free food, free drinks, enjoy yourselves, have a great time. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. It hits a little bit different. And you know what I'm talking about, Pat, too, because you're into sales, you know what I mean? So when you're trying to
Yeah.
reach out to somebody personally, you know what I mean, and you want to tell them and let them know, you know what I mean, what you're trying to do here, it touches them a little bit more differently, I think,
Well, and then you're attentive. So it's when you walk into that place, you're like, oh, who's doing this? You're right there. So it's freaking awesome.
Oh, dude, the hype. Like, again, you know what I mean? I knew you of Facebook, and the first day I met you was the tournament. And I'm hearing you're like, oh shit. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, oh, it was,
It was awesome.
I loved it.
Yeah, because I think we ended up hearing about it because Aiden was pulling Tim Lewis, right?
Yeah, so we went to go
that's what it
support
was.
Aiden
We went to
LeMay.
go support Aiden, and we met
Yeah.
a lifetime friend. And then I got to see you at Winter Blast, and you guys had me
Yep.
hyped up.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. When I saw you Winter Blast, it was fucking awesome too. I saw a picture of you and me when we were sitting in the back right there. Dude, your arms were fucking huge. I mean, fucking huge, bro. From after pull, I mean, not after pulling, after you pulled in the tournament. I mean, they were beat red and the size of my fucking leg. They were fucking.
Yeah, sounds about
huge,
right.
but
Well,
yeah,
I took
it
a
was
beating
awesome.
on right that day, but I ended up left with so much fun.
I
But
know, dude. I know. Same thing with you, James, man. I love seeing you pull, man. It's just it's how much you put in and how much you're willing to do and how you do it. You know what I mean? And the enthusiasm, the intensity. I mean, it's from both you guys, and that's why, that's why you need people like you know, to come to places like, you know, that type of tournament and to show yourselves and to show what you have so other people can see. You know, because I don't think a lot of people, you know, think they look at James and they're like, you know, yeah, I could probably pull. And I'm sitting there going,
Right. When you look at
fucking,
Patrick, I say I got a sleeper build. Like
yeah,
if you don't know who I am, you're like, and I'm not really that good. I don't want to fucking boost my ego. Like I obviously am not a beginner, but I wouldn't say pro at any rate. But like you
I would
said,
say you're definitely a fucking sleeper, dude. You're definitely I would say you don't look as you would be able to pull like the last fucking guy you pulled. Everybody was just like, "Oh man, he's gonna run through you." I'm sitting there going, "They don't fucking know James, dude. He's gonna,
He gets
he's gonna
crazy.
he's gonna blast right through his fucking arm. The guy's not gonna even know what happened to him. Especially the
Yeah.
speed, man, and the intensity
Yep.
that you bring. I've seen you after pull, and you know, with a couple of guys, and it's so completely fucking different. It's like night and day. Because when you're on the table with somebody in a super match in a tournament, it's like you got to switch. And the same thing with Pat. That switch goes on and it's completely fucking different, you know?
What I told him, I was like, dude, we practice with you, and we may stomp all over you in practice, then you walk up to that table and you smoke everyone in the tournament. Or you're playing with your teammates and it's underestimation.
Yeah.
You get that switch.
You know what I mean? Like I think I've always been raised, or my mindset was you train hard, right? And you train as hard as you can, but you're training with your team, or if I'm training with you, I respect you.
Yeah.
So it's like if you're training fighting, you're not supposed to knock out your sparring partner. You're not supposed to hurt your training partner.
Well, even
So you got to get, you know what I mean? You got to get in the work you need. But on game day, or again, I love it, dude. When you're basically agreeing to combat, we're agreeing we're gonna hurt each other, but it's all on the table. And versus, no offense, like some of the people of Vermont fucking hate my guts, dude. I'll have the refs and every people in that room wanted me to lose so bad because I'm talking so much shit. But
I love that shit. That's what makes the sport great. Is all that shit smashing on the fucking table, especially that last match, the super match that you had with the big guy. You actually beat him a match before, and it kills me. And it kills me. You know, I don't know if you saw, but right after they posted, I even put in the bottom. I said, "You got to get rid of those fucking reps." I got so pissed because it's just the fact that I saw the pin not fucking being there. Don't tell me you didn't see the fucking pin as a ref when you were right there. Come on, man.
Oh,
you know, so,
you're talking about round two?
yeah.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Listen, I love Jay and I love the grapple promotion. I love his daughter. They're good people.
Just missed it.
But I think, and this is my opinion, I could be wrong, is when you're reffing, I think it really takes a real mindset to go, okay, I'm not front row seats for this match. I'm here to be a ref. And I think a lot of people know, like the guy beat Ozzy Dolan is like one of the monsters of Vermont, like one of the like Bigfoots, you know, the cryptids, I would say. Like no one beats this guy. He shows up every now and then and mops people. But again, not like Ozzy's a fucking real warrior, dude. His old man, you know what I mean, passed, I think, 2 weeks before that match.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to show up and even want to pull, I don't know if I'd be strong enough to do that. Like when I just lost my grandfather recently, if I had to pull right there and then, that takes a real dude, especially the kind of person I am on the table. But like me and him had a lot of conversations over Facebook before the match, and I really respect that guy. And again, a fucking warrior, like you said. But back to
It
Jay
takes a
and
real
those
man to
guys.
do what he did. It takes a real man to do what he did, honestly. You know?
Yeah. But back to Jay and them, I think there's so much hype around the match. Everyone's like, James is a big underdog, but if he can, you know what I mean? If that if factor. And then when it happened in the first round where I hit him and then I kind of doubted myself, like this fucker's gonna hurt me, so I'm not really gonna go for it. And then it stopped in the middle and I'm watching him shake and I was like, oh, I'm holding it. And I just knew it was in a bad spot. And I said, okay. And he pinned me. And then I went, you get that one, bro. And he was like, I was like, you get that one. I won't make that mistake. And then the second one, dude, wow. And then I saw two knuckles under the pad and I went, yeah. And I took my hand off. And then he brought me back and pinned me. And I was like, that's a pin. They're like, no, that's a pin for him. And I'm like, well, my hand's off the peg. So it would be a foul.
Right.
Not a, but again, for the training they have as refs, like I could be speaking out my ass. I don't know what actual training they have. I think they've just arm wrestled their whole lives and kind of learned the rules as the sports evolved. But
See, that's the big thing with me is every single and I even, you know, got Aiden to get certified. I even got Kunal to get certified. Um that's the big deal with me too, is that if you're gonna ref at my tournament, you have to be certified from now on. That's why I have Steve Walker there. That's why
Yep.
Ray Romanowski, Ron Singley, Anthony Citrella, you know, all these guys that are, you know, certified refs, and if they're either level 1, level 2, or level 3, they are certified refs. They aren't just arm wrestlers. They are certified refs. So it's not a call to say that, oh, well, you know, he's his teammate. Nah, dude, you know, and that's what I love about Ray too and Steve is that it could be their own teammate and they will call whatever needs to be called. And that's what I
Yeah.
like about that. You know, I love those fair calls. You know, you guys seen, you know, Ray when he was a ref in Montana. There was calls that Ray made and fair as they need to be. And that's what I respect Ray a lot about, you know what I mean? And that's the way
No,
the
I thought
sport needs
Ray
to be.
was great at your tournament in New York, and both of them, both those guys. I like both those guys, so they
Yeah,
were both great.
yeah, I think so
I
too.
do have.
And they're not always going to be liked for the shit they call.
But guess
Yeah.
what? That's the job. That's the flag you wear, the cross you
Yeah.
bear when you're being a ref. You're not there to be liked. You're there to enforce the rules
Yeah.
and make
That's
sure it's right.
perfectly said. That's perfectly said, James. That's exactly the way it is. Yep.
Right. And then as long as it's unbiased or something, like you said, you can't really hate the ref. Like if you give me an elbow foul for a little hop, I can't be mad if you do the same thing to the guy across from me.
Right.
But like you said, when you go to these other tournaments sometimes, or you've seen it where refs make up their own rules, and that's where you get people like not liking a sport, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The clearer the rules are to me, and anyone like when you're watching basketball, football, UFC, if you understand the rules before you're watching it, you're like, oh, okay, I can get behind this. But then the minute something weird happens, you go, wait a minute, I thought that was the rule. You're like, it's supposed to be, but you know. And then you're like,
Yeah.
well, that's stupid. I don't want to, you know.
You know what?
Exactly. Now,
You know what I do
and
want to know? Hey, can you share with us? I really want to know about King of the Table. Firsthand shit. Like you're sitting right there. I know we're talking about this stuff, and I don't mean to interject, but I want to hear
King
about
of
it.
the Table was absolutely phenomenal. It was to
Yeah.
tell you the truth, the best match of the night was actually Brian Shaw and fucking the Beast, man, and
Yeah.
Eddie Hall.
Eddie's
And I'll tell you,
Eddie's the man.
yeah, and I'll tell you why. It wasn't the arm wrestling. It was the
Yeah.
show that they put
Like,
on, plus the arm
mhm.
wrestling. That's
Yep.
why it was such a good match because of the show that they put on. Both just having Eddie across the table and screaming at Brian Shaw, a 420 something pound monster. Come on, pussy. That's just
Yeah.
you can't get any fucking better than that. Like I just, you know what I mean? And then when they got chest to chest, and Brian Shaw literally sounded like a fucking gorilla when he told him, get over there. Get over there. I was just like, oh my God. I was like, I've never even heard Brian talk like that before. Like have such a
No.
deep fucking gorilla voice. I was like, where the fuck did that even come from? But that's where the intensity, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? So that's what, you know, I want to bring it to that stage to really show people that, you know, put that show on. You're here not just to arm wrestle, but to put a fucking show on. You know what I mean? That's what I
Yeah.
want, you know. So I love that shit, man. I thought that was great. Also, Gabby had a really good match too. I wanted Gabby to win so bad. That was one of the best matches of the night too. You know what I mean? So, and she got closer this time than she did in her first match too, up against her. You know, but
With the dude with like the short art, like being
I
able
know.
to do that, she kept her hand a little better. That
Mhm.
was it. Nothing was happening.
You know what happened is that she gassed her out. She did that purposely.
Yeah.
She knew exactly what she was doing. She did it in the first
Mhm.
one, and she got one less pin in the first one. In the second one, she got one more pin because she knew what she kind of had to do. But the
Yeah.
fact that she knew she had to take her into deep waters and able to gas Gabby out to be able to beat her, she had a plan. And she, like a fucking doctor, she surgically fucking did it. She knew exactly what to do, slowly gassed her out until she didn't have enough side pressure. And
Yep.
it was what it was. And she ended up beating her. And I give her a lot of respect for beating her the way she did because and let me tell you something. I love to even see a third one to see what happens if Gabby can actually not gas out as much as she did on the second one because I don't even know what would happen because that match
Yep.
got closer as it went on. So, but Yeah, those matches were so good, man. And I want to say, because I went to the East versus West in Florida, and comparison to the King of the Table, I'd have to say Florida was just a little bit better because of the type of guys we had. Every single guys from the United States, even Devin was pulling. The only person that was missing was really Levon. I would have to say that wasn't in
Yep.
Florida, but in general, with all the pullers, Florida was just a little bit better. There was a little bit more people, and a couple people were saying, "Oh, there was more people at King of the Table." No, there wasn't. There was more people in Florida. It was a stuffed fucking room to where you couldn't fit anybody else. They were trying to buy more chairs to fit more people in. The venue was just as big, and it was still more cramped. And the vibe and everybody screaming, everything else was a little bit bigger in Florida. Even though King of the Table was absolutely fucking phenomenal, the front row seats were great. VIP was untouchable, man. You can't get any closer than that. The only thing I would have to say is from the VIP stands, all the guys from the front row that was able to see it to the front of the stage, and I was on the back of the stage, looking at everybody, pretty much where the head ref was. I was where the head ref was, pretty much looking at the table. They got to
Yep.
put a TV so everybody can see what they're seeing on the TV from the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If there was two
Hopefully
big
they do
TVs,
that in Dallas. Yeah.
right? So they should really look at it a little bit more differently from the VIP stand. So all the guys that are watching that, they can see the same thing. And the replays, we weren't able to see the replays. So that's a big thing, man. We're paying top dollars to see every single second, which we did, but at the same time, camera views. You need to put camera views from overhead set, you know what I mean? From over the actual table on an angle so you can see a little bit more. Instead, they had a guy that was going pretty much. I seen the back of an ass of a guy the whole time and his fucking the back of his shirt. And I'm sitting
Yeah.
there, going and looking underneath and being like, dude, fucking move. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and then there was probably like at least 4 or 5 guys inside of me. They're like, seriously, dude, like, what am I paying for these VIP seats to look at your ass? Move, bro. Like, I know you got to record, but go on the other side for a little bit too. So it was like,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Oh, they should take the fucking phones away when you're walking in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then hopefully they get like stadium seating. Did they do that at like King of the or East versus West 12 or 9 or something like
It was
that?
13. No, 14.
See,
Yeah.
that's
No,
the
it was when Dennis pulled Devin. That was like the best seating.
Oh,
yeah.
that VIP.
Yeah, because
That was sick.
that was stadium seating the way and that's the way they need to
Yes.
do it, is have that levels, have that first, second, third, fourth. Nobody's in
Exactly.
anybody's way. Nobody is, you can see everything clearly. All the TVs were all around. So that setting, when they did that, actually, I agree with you, Pat. They should do it more like that. Reason being is because you could see everything from everywhere. You know what I mean? So it was a little bit different, the experience. But either way was absolutely fucking phenomenal. And meeting Levon and everything else like that he's a monster of a man, but I give Brian like a couple of years, maybe, and I think he would fucking destroy Levon, dude. The massive size of fucking Brian was just unreal, dude. I've always wanted to meet him because I
6'8".
always watched Strongman. I've always watched Strongman, but
Me too. Mhm.
I always wanted to meet him, but when I took a picture of him and I looked like a little boy. I mean, I looked like a little
Oh my
kid.
God. You posted that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You had
yeah,
posted with him, and I'm like,
yeah. I look like a baby, dude. You know what I mean? I was like, I look like his child. You know what I mean? He was like, he's sitting there like, and not only that, but he like out shoots you too, so he knows exactly how to pose and how to put in front of you. So he makes you look even smaller. You know what I mean? Besides that, he's already 420 some odd fucking pounds, and he's like
yeah.
triple the size of me. It's just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, just let me get in there a little bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it
Dude,
was great, man. And like you said, Eddie Hall's the man. He's such a nice guy. Always wanted to meet him too. And
both of those guys are hilarious. Like everything they do is so funny. So
yeah, they're good friends. They're like best friends
yeah,
off the camera.
yep,
You know what I mean?
yep.
Yeah. So it was good to see them. But I'm gonna tell you this much. While they were on the table, there was no friendship, man. It was
Well, you can
pure
see it.
adrenaline, massive fucking Vikings going at it head to head. And that's what you want to see. That's really what you want to see. Want to see that fucking show. And it's not like faking something. Be original. Feel what you feel at that moment and fucking do it. And that's what I liked
Yep.
about Brian, because he's a calm guy. But when he got to that table, I didn't want to get
You,
near him,
no.
dude. I was like maybe 3 seats away from him when he sat down and he like had his ice pack and everything down on him. I didn't even want to literally stare at him because I can feel his fucking aggression and his kind of want a killing moment. And it's just it literally vibed off of him how like intense he was. You know what I mean? And same thing with the Beast. And let me tell you something. When he was going when the Beast and when Eddie Hall was saying USA, it wasn't to chant Brian Shaw on. It was to get in his fucking head. That's why he was
Yes.
doing that. To fuck
Yeah.
with him. To really get in his head and to tell him like, you got all these fucking people behind you. You better fucking win, bro. You better
Yep.
fucking win, or else you're gonna look like a fucking fool. And let me tell you something. To be honest, as an arm wrestler, I think Eddie was a little bit better of an arm wrestler than Brian was on the table. You know, thank God Brian had a little bit more
If he
strength
didn't
in
sleep.
general. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. You know, so I
Are you
was
saying like
surprised.
he's way more fluent? Like everything was
His
more.
movement, yeah, his movements were a little bit more, and you could see that, you know, the way he was turning in, the way he was using his body, you know. So
Yeah.
that's what you could see at a different arm wrestler, and that's what I seen in Brian that he kind of didn't do, and if he did it a little bit better, he would have won. I thought a lot easier. You know what I mean? So, but I like the way his movement, the way he was climbing, you know, on top to try to get that hand. So he was doing whatever he needed to do. Thank God he had Devin in his corner to let him know. But in general, phenomenal show, great
Yep.
show. I mean, really was.
And Eddie even said it, like Brian's hand was so much out of the strap, like he was just too strong. You know?
Yeah, I love that shit talking right there in the center of the table, just saying, "What do you want? Don't go in the fucking strap, Ryan. Don't you try to fucking go in the strap." I love that shit,
Don't
dude.
run, you pussy.
Yeah, that's just that intensity, that shit talking on the table while you're pulling somebody that's 400 fucking
Yeah.
pounds, and it's just, dude, so
That's
great.
this guy.
Well,
I love
That's
that.
why I can't wait for February.
I got
Yep.
mine from Travis Bajan. When I saw, did you ever watch Game of Arms?
Yeah. I've talked to
Yeah,
Travis
no,
before. Me and Hat sat down. We went in my car, fucking smoked a couple of blunts and shit. He's a phenomenal guy, man. He's a great guy. But let me tell you something. It's there's two different people, right? There's Travis Bajent where he's calm, chill, relax, big gigantic fucking gorilla, smokes a blunt, loves to talk to you and chill out. And then there's Travis Bajent that's on the fucking table, and that switch is you don't want to be there. You know, you just don't want to be there. And if you're going to be there, you better have the same fucking switch that he does because he's going to come in with a fucking train wreck, man. He really is.
right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I loved it, dude. Like I would watch him when he was at Richard Lupkus, when Richard Lupkus was about to beat him.
Oh,
And he was like, "Get up here, bitch. Get up here."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah. Stand
I
up.
thought he said
Stand
bitch.
up. Stand up. Get over the
Stand up,
table.
Rich.
Stand up. And as he was
Yeah.
standing up, you seen him slowly turn him over. Get up
Fucking
now. Get up now. I was like, holy shit. I was
Yeah,
like,
and then he got him up. He's like, "Yeah, big boy."
yep.
I'm like, "Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, dude."
Dude, that's what I love about that shit, man. Just the fact that you know what could happen if you and then he tests him. Just for the fact of saying, get up now, just by you saying that, it makes you think like you're fucking with me. You know what I mean? If you would have
Yeah.
just stayed down there and would have just anchored him down, it would have been done. He wouldn't have been
Yeah.
able to hold his weight down on his bicep. He just wouldn't have been able to do it. But just for the fact that Travis is sitting there screaming him, get up, big boy, it's just, it fucks with you. And it did fuck with them enough for the whole fucking people to sit there and be like, maybe I should stand up because maybe I look like a bitch because I'm down here. No, dude, you're fucking beating him. But he got into your fucking head and he beat you, bro. You know, so.
Well, it's all about that combative sport, dude. You don't have to be the strongest.
Yeah.
I've seen, well, that's how I beat a lot of guys is IQ. Like I break down guys before I get there. I'm like, what's going to make them upset? What's going to make them do the wrong move? How do I get in their head? Or if I know if a guy's a wicked hooker, I'm like, yeah, you know, you don't want top roll. You know, you don't want to rock there with me. Any bitch hooks. You know, the kids at the farm know how to hook. You don't know how to arm wrestle for real. And I can get a guy to fucking, and I'm like, whoa, where the fuck are you going? It's so much fun. I love it. And I love that you're going to support me to do that because I get yelled at most of the time when I do that. So I'm trying to.
No.
And
Hell no. Don't hold back, man. Don't let anybody hold you back. Be you, be original, be that guy, be rowdy, that's what brings the sport and that's what brings everybody like people like you to that next level because not only is it just good arm wrestling, but it's good vibes. After the end of everything, we're still pals, man. We're still good. We're still brothers and everything. We're still friends, and you and me. You know what I mean? But on the table,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a different fucking story, man. It's gonna be a
Yep.
different fucking story. You know what I mean?
Dude, I love that. And I try to explain that to people. Like, I have a guy in Maine that I'm gonna hook up a super match eventually. Jeremy Ladd fucking hates my guts. This man hates my
that
fucking
was Massachusetts. He was there, wasn't he? You were
Yeah,
at Hayes
Pandemonium.
tournament
Yeah, I was at Pandemonium, of course,
when
dude.
they almost fought.
Yep.
Dude, well, it all started because like I'm calm and I'm wearing my Hawaiian shorts and I just don't want to be that guy today. And then he's like hitting himself in the table, and I'm like, dude, I don't know why you're beating up that table. I'm the one that's pinning you today. And he just looked at me like, oh, and I'm like, what? Like, what are you afraid of? Get over here. And I just got him so mad. Then he got so mad he didn't know what to do. And then, you know what I mean? You ever been so mad where you just start saying stupid shit?
Yep.
And he was like, I'm gonna fucking meet you outside and beat the shit out of you. And I'm like, oh, you want to fight me, dude? I was like, you can beat my dick, but I ain't fighting you. I was like, we're here to arm wrestle. And that guy fucking went from 0 to 100. And
You smoked him
yeah, unfortunately.
easily.
I know, dude. I know. I know. That's the type of stuff that brings the sport to the next level, man. That difference, you know, all those differences is what really makes the difference, man. That's the intensity that people want. I love seeing that shit, man. Like, just like that's why I love Steve coming into every single one of that screaming, that do not move, that shit. It brings you to that different level to where you literally
My favorite.
want to explode as soon as he's fucking, you know what I mean? Because so does Steve. He's the same way, dude. I don't know if you guys ever seen him like before he's in any of his matches, like the knuckles up. Man, he
Always.
gets
I've
smacked.
watched a lot of Steve.
He gets smacked around like a fucking like an ape before he starts because he wants to get fucking riled up to fucking kill the guy. You know, he beat a 440-pound fucking tank. You know, last time at Knuckles Up, that everybody's like, oh, I don't know, man. Steve's big, but this guy is huge and he's been pulling for a while. And I was like, Steve's gonna fucking run through him.
Smoke him. Yeah.
Yeah, and he did with no fucking problem, man. Steve's on a different fucking level, man. So it's just intensity like that is what I fucking love, man. And don't get me wrong, I love those calm pullers. I love the respect. You mean like Paul Lynn? I love those type of pullers too. You know what I mean? Show a lot of respect and bring everything to the sport. And but same thing. You don't have to be loud and do everything else. You know what I mean? Which I love either way, but just the intensity. If you've seen the last match that Paul had at the King of the Table, that fucker was
Absolutely.
shaking, dude. He was shaking with his whole body to try to. When you give it your all and put that much on the table, you don't want anybody else. I'm gonna call him again. Why? Because he put everything on the win or lose. He put everything on the fucking table. Those are the guys that you want. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
You
I
know?
fucking love watching Paul pull. Win or lose.
Dude,
I
that's
don't
how
care.
I feel about Pat. Like, Pat will fucking go for that press, and if it doesn't go, I've seen him in like a weird break arm. Fucking, you know what I mean? Looks like
Yeah,
Kratos
dude.
from Gods of War, and you're like,
Yep.
people should like. I would give up. I mean it. Like, I won't break arm for nobody. That's a lie. I'd break arm for some people, but like. I'm kind of more articulated about like, okay, I can lose this one and still come back. Pat's like, I don't give a fuck this first match of the day. And I'm like,
Dude, I am the same fucking way. I am the same fucking way. I'll put everything on there. I used to try to top roll, not comfortable doing that. Don't have the strength. I'm trying to grow my wrist a little bit now. But me and pressing, I love the fucking press, bro. So I've been just pressing. And then that's another thing too. I've been learning a little bit more, you know, on pressing. In the last what was it? The Contenders at the King of the Table on Friday when we had it. It was same thing. You know, it was just pressing and going through people, and then I'm pushing them off the pad, and they're sitting there going, "What the fuck?" And I'm doing it again, and they're like, "Dude," I'm like, "I can't contain your hit," and I'm sitting there going, "That's not my fucking fault, bro."
If they
You know what I
can't
mean?
keep
So-
on the pad, that's not your problem.
yeah, hey,
That's
like we
not my
said,
fucking fault.
motherfucker, there's rules.
You know what I mean? So that's the other
I
thing.
got
we're
some
talking-
tips for you with that
Yeah.
too.
Definitely, man. I'll take any tips when it has to come to pressing, man. Actually, speaking of pressing, one of my favorite pressers that are, you know, in this pro league, like I would say like Aiden. Aiden's one of my favorite pullers. I loved when he pulled up against Wade Roberts at the 10th annual New York State Championships when I put that super match together. Literally, he was holding Wade, screaming, looking at Wade, saying, "You motherfucker." I love that shit. I love that shit because he was not giving up. He didn't give a fuck. You would have to break Aiden's fucking arm in order to fucking beat him at that moment. And plain and simple, you know, he won that match. He won the match. He won it great. He did a great job. And just you guys like you guys know, Wade Roberts is no slump, man. He's one of the
Nope.
the great fucking
Nope.
puller. You know, he puts everything on the table too, and that's what I love about Wade too. You know, he's a phenomenal puller. But that day, Wade was the better guy. You know,
Dude,
I was super.
my favorite presser in the area is Sam Mitchell.
I don't think Sam's.
I swear to God, I'm gonna fucking kill Sam because he lost his fucking match in Montana. I don't know if you
He
guys
doing
heard.
a press.
I swear to God, I fucking killed him in Montana, dude. Oh
I
my
heard
God.
you screaming at him.
Yeah, I said, would you fucking press him? And he's sitting there going, and I'm like, put your fucking shoulder behind him. And I'm, oh my God, dude. And you look, I get it.
Because
You
he
know,
pinned him, he
I don't-
flash pinned him when he pressed
Well,
him.
third round when Sam did the anaconda, the whap. I was like, there we go.
that's
There we
it. You
go.
found a lane. Use it. Don't go in a hook. What are you doing? You know what I mean? So it's
He
just,
loves
look,
the hook. He loves
Yeah.
testing himself.
yeah. And that's what I love about Sam. You know, he actually has a really big match that's coming up. I'm gonna spew it out now that we're talking about Sam a little bit too, and I'll spew out a little bit about Aiden. Aiden's going up against was it Flip? Yeah, he's going up against Flip to qualify to go to Florida. And oh, it's on the fucking charger before it dies. I don't want the shit to die.
Flip is a Puerto Rican kid, right?
Yeah, he's the one that was
Yeah.
actually at what was he? He was at
He was at Pandemonium.
yeah, he was at Pandemonium, but I also just hooked him up with another super match. It was against Wade Roberts, and we did that at the Buffalo Wild Wings because we're bringing arm wrestling back to Buffalo Wild Wings too. So
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, this is
Yep.
crazy. Could we do a Hooters? Listen, I know what sells. Okay, do you know that chick? What's her face? The blonde girl, Sydney Sweeney. Yes.
I don't know
You
who
want to
you're
know why
talking
she's
about.
famous? You want to know why she's famous? I don't know. It ain't her acting, boys. It ain't her acting. But she's been in the last 20 movies this year, and I can tell you what it is. It ain't fucking acting.
and
So
I was
who's
talking
it?
about too,
And then you said Sam's got something
Sam
coming
Mitchell
up.
is pulling up against Zach Lee.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Zach Lee?
Yeah. So,
Left
dude, I had
arm.
so many phenomenal super matches that day. They're like literally, Zach Lee is also fighting for the spot for Florida. So,
Left or
whoever,
right?
I think they're actually doing both because I
Ooh,
think Sam thinks he could
Zach is
take
a
him left.
nasty left-hand puller.
Yeah. So I think they're pulling both, but they're only, I think Sam, whoever wants to pull for the Florida spot has to pull whichever arm they're using at Battle of Tri-State 2, they have to use the same arm that they qualified for there in Florida when they pull with City Slickers. So
I wish we can get Weber to go.
Oh, dude, do you know who Sean Weber is?
yeah.
We need to get like Sean's. I don't know, and I respectfully when Sean watches
Love
this,
that guy.
I don't think he holds himself to the right standard. Like I've asked him to be on the podcast. He's like, I'm not good enough yet. I'm like, Sean, like I've gone to
Dude,
Badgers 2 years in a row.
He's a fucking badass puller, bro.
Yep.
And I'll tell you what,
We
I've been
understand.
training with him. After I beat Ozzy, I said, you know what? I said, I got something for you. motherfucker." I took 3 weeks off, healed up, and I went with a different mindset. I showed up to Joe Fitzsimmons, and we went right, and he fucking molested me. It was not cool. Dude, didn't move him, Steve. Hit with everything in his hand, and he went, it feels good. Feels good.
Oh, dude, Fitzy's a wall, bro. Fitzy's a fucking wall, bro.
No, Joe.
I'm talking about,
Sean. He's talking about Sean, though.
yeah, I'm talking about Sean.
Weber? Yeah. Sean Weber. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
we're
gonna say-
at Joe. So James's brothers, Joe Fitzsimmons, also world champ.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's right down the road from us. So we train with him on Fridays. So Sean always trains with Joe. So I said, "Fuck you, Sean. Today's the day, motherfucker." And dude, he molested me.
Shit.
And then left arm, I was like, this is the arm no one fucks with. I said, let's go. Dude, same thing. Couldn't fucking move him. And I was like, what have you been doing? He's like, ever since Artem beat me, he goes, I've been in the fucking gym. And I'm like, oh shit. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm breaking that motherfucker next time. And I was like, that's that fire, dude.
Bro, I seen Artem pull at the Contender Series. He pulled up to super heavies.
Yeah,
Man, he's a lot stronger than I thought, Artem, man. He is so fucking strong, dude. It's and his hit is fucking nasty, bro. If you can't contain him, oh my God, dude. It's just on a different level, man. When I seen him there, and I seen him pull a couple times, but when I seen him at the Contender Series, especially with the super heavies, he wasn't holding anything back, and you can't when you're going up against, something like Phil, Philip Larson. He was just went up against Phil, and he beat him to qualify to pull at the King of the Table, the Contender Series for the semi. So I give him that much respect. Arm's walking around at fucking 198 pounds, 200 pounds. You know what I mean? He's
And
pulling
if
up
people
against
don't know who Philip Larson is, he just beat Grundy, like
yeah,
Brad Grundy.
Brad Grundy. He just beat Brad Grundy.
Bad dude, number one
Yeah.
in Florida. Like,
You want to know what though? What was funny about it? At the fucking and I put a couple actually clips up there too, because Philip Larson pulled Devin, and they were
I
pulling
saw
right
it,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, and he fucking played with him. He
I
toyed with him.
Okay, so
It
Phil's
was-
the
I
big.
saw you standing behind Devin.
Yeah,
So
I was
the
there.
dude with the beard.
I was there
That
talking
had
to
like, he looked
Devin.
at the Vikings.
Devin looks back and he goes, "This is fucking playtime." And I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "He's gonna," because I also too. I talk to fucking Devin too. Every time I see him, we go out, chill, smoke, relax, and shit. He's a great guy too, man. He's so fucking cool to chill.
Yeah.
He's so chill. To fucking, he's a great guy, man. Just in general. But I did not think that he was gonna toy with Philip Larson that bad. I thought it was gonna be a little bit of something, but he put his hand. He didn't even use the peg. He put his hand up and he goes, "What are you talking about?" He goes, I can do this. What am I? He's got the upper hand if I don't put my hand on the peg. What are you talking about?" And I was sitting there going, "My God, he's fucking with them." And Phil goes, "Hit." He goes, "You think you can beat me?" He goes, "Hit." And he hit him and he put him down with like nothing. It was like nothing to him. And I was like, that's those different levels where you start seeing like, holy shit, man, that's the difference right there, So yeah, just seeing him do that was I don't want to say it was embarrassing, but just for the fact that what are you trying to do with Devin, dude? Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Like, come on now,
But you got to try.
You gotta try.
Yeah,
You gotta try, but just for the fact that it was like it was just first he made it seem like he was, he was fucking with them, but then the way he put him down, it was just like there wasn't even a competition for him. He could have did that 5-6 times in a row with no fucking problem, So
Well, dude, I think people shit on Devin because he couldn't beat Levon. I've seen so many people go, "Oh, he can't beat Levon. He sucks." I'm like, right, but he beat everybody else.
And he's
dude, I was gonna say there's nobody that's gonna really beat Levon right now. I thought Jerry would his press, but even he was, and I'll tell you one thing that I didn't see, and I don't know if Jerry couldn't get into that position to at least go into the flat press, but
Devin pulled him.
Yeah,
Devin pulled him to top roll out.
Yeah, and that's what I was hoping to see if Jerry can actually get into his press before he can, try to pull him out, and he wasn't. Levon was faster, he was stronger, he wasn't able to maintain, and Jerry was just as soon as he felt this hit, I think Jerry was like, "I'm fucked."
Jerry
that's what
needed the strap. Yeah, and he said it. So
I was heartbroken because, like, you know what I mean? Like, we were saying before, like, Jerry, like, you don't get too many opportunities in your life, especially at his age, to become the world champion.
No.
Yeah.
So, like,
he was number one at one point.
No, he was, but like everyone, like even Devin said, he's like, "I'm not the real heavyweight champion." He goes, "When Levon comes back, if I beat Levon, I'll consider myself the real heavyweight champion. But I know there's a monster out there that I haven't beaten."
I'm interested to see Michael and him. If Michael can get through Hermes, I'm interested to see if he can hold up.
To tell you the truth, I'm more interested in I'm more interested in Hermes. I'm more interested in Hermes, and I'll tell you why. The first, and I'll tell you this much, and look, nothing against Devin, okay, but the match with Hermes and Levon to me was better than Devin and Levon, and the reason being is because, and the difference between Jerry and what happened with Hermes was because Hermes didn't go straight into a flat press. He was actually fighting them, gassed them out a little bit for a top roll, give him a little bit of side pressure, went back and forth, and then eventually he went into that flat press where he held them, and that's when they were going back and forth. I don't know what Michael Todd's going to be able to do with them. And let me tell you something, dude. If you never met Michael Todd in person, he's a lot bigger than you think. A lot bigger. Yeah. He's a lot bigger. His arms are a lot bigger. He's a lot taller. It was a little bit surprising, how big he was when I met him at East First West in Florida. So, but in general, Hermes, I think, had a better match than he did with Devin. I don't know what Michael Todd's going to do besides put him in a fucking King's move. That's the only thing I could see. And if he puts, and that lock, because he broke his arm, is hard to get through. But I'll tell you this much: if if he's gonna put that King's move on Levon, Levon will break that fucking arm. I think. You know what I mean? So I don't think Michael Todd's gonna be able to hold up all that weight with Levon, and especially that we know that now that Levon can press like he did that with Devin. That's on a different level now. You know what I mean? So
He's gonna get it there.
that's
Yep.
something different that we have that he's got in his toolbox. You know what I mean? So I want to see Hermes. I want to see Hermes and Levon go at it again. I want to see what the difference is. And I think Hermes, when it comes to the point to where he's got to step up into a different level to get there, he does every time. The only time where he couldn't do that is because Devin got into his head, was fucking with him, and he beat him. You know what I mean? So besides that,
It was so good, too.
yeah, dude, it was so. That's what I respect. That's what I love about Devin is that he knows what to do to be able to beat someone. And if he gets beaten by them, he goes, all right, you know what? Now I know what I got to do to beat him next time. He knows exactly what to do. He has a game plan, and he's very precise in what he does. With Levon, it was just a different story. I mean, he did hold him center for a little bit. They were going back and forth. And I don't believe any of that shit where everybody's saying like, oh no, Levon was just holding him there. Let me tell you something. If Levon could have done something which he tried to fucking top roll him when they were in the center right there, he couldn't have. That's why he couldn't do anything, and that's why he went to the press. Plain and simple, you know? So
Dude, you guys remember that? Like that first go when it finally happened? Dude,
You were already angry.
I'm not
'cause you knew
gay.
the outcome.
I'm not gay, dude. But oh my god, I was
I'm
so
not
fucking
gay,
mad.
but a 20 is a 20, all right?
Yeah, dude. Fucking economy's down the hall right now. We got to do what we can. But when Devin caught him like that, and you
Oh
see
my
LeVon start to
God.
shake, I was like coming in my pants. I'm like, fucking war.
Yep, I screamed at the top of my fucking lungs, bro. We had a VIP party and stuff, and I was at the smoke shop, and I mean, it was great.
Aiden went. He told us.
Yeah. Yusuf, Aiden. There was a couple of other guys too that pulled. Jack was there. Ken was there. Matt Becker was there. Joshua was there. There was a few guys there, you know, that were all hanging out. We were all watching and stuff. So it was a great time. But yeah, like you said, James, I was screaming at the top of my fucking lungs when he held him there. And that was one of the fucking best moments that I seen right there. And like you said, he was shaking, holding him there. And I'm sitting there going, but it is what it is, man. The best man would win. And that was good.
Devin gave everything in that moment to get there.
You know what I want to say with, again, like you said, the drama the guys bring on the table. Everyone hates on Devin, but I've always seen Devin, win or lose, at the end of a match, always be respectful to the guy he pulled. Not during the match, but after, with Oleg, any of those guys. He's
Dennis,
like, Dennis. He's like, these guys are amazing champions. They're some of the best in the world. I appreciate them for doing this. And it's like, it's as real as it gets. And I don't, again, people got to understand what this is. So
absolutely. And then that's the same thing that he did when he was in East versus West in Florida when he pulled Shaw. And that's the same thing intensity. And he told him, he goes, when Devin was looking at what's his name's fucking Shaw's fucking dad, and he goes, get your kid out of here. Get him out of here. He's gonna get his fucking arm broken. And it's just the fact that, you know, that type of intensity, and I give Shaw a lot of respect that he didn't get into his head and he was fighting back and do everything else. But in general, you know, you can't call out somebody, you know, that's a fucking world champion, that type of fucking level, and think that you're actually gonna fucking, you know, beat him. You know what I mean? He's just on a different fucking level, you know? Good try, but different fucking level, you know?
Like, again, number 2 in the world. People go, oh, but you're not number 1. Right, motherfucker, but I'm still number 2. So that means everybody else needs to get on their knees and blow me until you can beat me.
I think it's a little too far.
No, I think when you're king, you get to talk like that. That's how I am. I'll talk shit. If you beat me, I'll shake your hand and say you're the better man. But until you show me you're better, fuck you. That's it.
Hey, I got a quick question about with the tri-state. How do those work with the matches? How many rounds, stuff like? Because I want to wrap. I want to wrap it up too. So, I don't want to keep it too long. We didn't even talk about how Steve's in the hospital.
So we're doing a best out of 5. We're doing WAF rules. So, like I said, certified refs. Everybody that wins gets their Super Bowl tournament size ring, which is going to be, you know, phenomenal. Everybody loves those fucking rings. And
I think I'm like a size 13.
I don't even think it'll fit your fucking finger, to tell you the truth. That's why I put a chain. There's a chain that comes with it. There's a chain that comes with it.
I love what you're doing, dude. Like I said, I've been watching all of it on Facebook, and I see this shit, and I'm like, this is so cool. And I was like you said, it makes guys want it,
We
and
were
like
hoping to be a
it
part
makes.
of this.
Oh yeah, I mean, and we're talking about it. I was like, man, I was like, I don't want to reach out to him and seem thirsty. I was like, but I'll do what it takes for $20. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, how do we get Steve to notice us? I was like, no, we're just gonna pull hard and train hard. I was like, eventually, but yeah, thank you so much. Like I said, for even thinking of me, brother. I really appreciate it, and I won't let you down.
Nah, man, absolutely, man. You deserve it, man. I seen you pull Ozzy. As soon as I seen you pull Ozzy, I was like, Jesus, dude. I was like, he's getting to that different fucking level, bro. I was like, feeling like somebody like that and beating the way he did, and actually beat him better than what people thought because they say, oh no, I just won. No, he actually beat him one match before that. But if you guys don't want to count that pin, that's up to you. But I saw that fucking match. You know what I mean? So that was really impressive. And then Pat's just absolute fucking monster through every tournament, willing to do what happened.
Did you see the Legacy tournament? I didn't even know if you ended up seeing the Legacy tournament. Did you
Yeah,
watch?
absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Yeah, great. It was fucking phenomenal, man.
Yeah, because that was beating some of the guys and getting through some of those guys was
Well, we were just
huge.
talking
And
about how
watching
good.
you win and then having that tournament, that was huge. I was hyped up.
Yeah, well, the heavyweights are supposed to go last, in my opinion. It's supposed to be lightweight, middleweight, and the best for last are the biggest and best guys in the state. But unfortunately, we had to turn it around for Ozzy, which no complaints. But when I fucking won and I got to tell everybody, all right, bitches, time to fucking do what I just did, put it on the fucking table. And then when he smashed Wade, and I was like, dude, it's like you're getting good. I'm like the fucking this WAP people. I like calling that. Not I gotta figure out what
I thought they beat Wade in the hook the first time.
I'm not sure. I just
That was insane. I did not expect that. Yeah.
One of the biggest matches is probably going to be the main event from Battle of Tri-State 2. I don't know if you guys heard, but it's going to be Bill Sinks versus Miguel Fernandez.
Oh, dude,
go.
no way.
Wait, Miguel? Is that the guy that was at the Christmas party?
No, Miguel was the guy who pulled that East versus West, who pulled Coach Ray and gave him a left hand leg.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, how good was Bill looking?
Feels good.
Bill looked absolutely phenomenal. And actually in the Contender Series and the tournament before that, him and Miguel Fernandez went back and forth. I mean, it was the best match of the night. I mean, the best match of the night. I mean, blew Devin and Phil out of the water, everybody else. Bill and Miguel went at it so fucking, I mean, after Bill won, Miguel went up to me and he goes, fuck, man, I should have done this. I should have done that. And I'm sitting there going, do you think this is over, don't you? And he's like, why do you say that? I was like, don't worry about it. After everything went to the Contender Series and everything else, Miguel reaches out to me. He goes, man, he goes, you think you can find me a super match? I was just like, I already got a super match for you. He goes, who? I was just like, I got to call Bill. And he goes, yeah? I was like, oh, yeah. He's like, all right. I was like, I'll do that. I said, oh, yeah. I was like, that's going to be definitely your next one. I called Bill and Bill's like, I'm in. I was like, fuck, man. I was like, that's going to be the main event. So Bill Sinks versus Miguel Fernandez.
Awesome. Dude, and people don't know this about Bill Sinks. Like you when we were talking about endurance. That motherfucker is
he could pull for days. He'll pull for days.
Yeah. Dude, I pulled him at Addison left-handed and I beat him first 5 times. Like, dude, I'm beating Bill Sinks. Fuck you, dude. I'm like, put that on my resume. And then we just kept going. And then all of a sudden, like, I was like, what the fuck is this? And the strength just got a little bit better. And he just kept going. I'm like, fuck you, dude. I'm 26. You're supposed to die now. Let me win.
Yeah, I know.
That's what the Vermont Powder Boys say. They like when he gets warmed up, it's just
So fuck yeah, dude. I'm hyping that match up. Oh, dude, I get to be there with Bill, so I get to talk so much shit in the crowd.
Oh, dude, there's gonna be 10 ridiculous super matches, man. So just wait till we get everybody lined up because they're gonna be. It's gonna be it's gonna be out of line, man. All the matches are gonna be ridiculous. They're gonna be so good, and like I told everybody, you know, when we get there, it's gonna be on a different level with all these people because everybody knows, you know, who they put like Zach Lee and Sam. You know, that's just gonna be one of the best super matches. They're gonna be fighting for that 16th.
Absolutely.
I mean, so all these matches are gonna be phenomenal, man. You and Chris Vert is no joke, dude. I'm telling you right now.
We can't find anything. He's
I can't. I'm very ignorant. So I went to Pat.
Empire, I mean, Long Island Arm Wrestling. He literally teaches Derek Perusa. Derek Perusa is actually going up against Ray Romanowski. So for at 200 pounds. So there's a lot of matches that are going to be there that a lot of coaches are going to be there that are going up against young bucks. You know what I mean, and there's going to be
Yep.
obviously, you know, and one of them that you know that's going to be one of the best one is going to be literally you versus Chris Vert. Chris Vert's been pulling for years. He's a coach. He teaches all his guys there, you know, and he's a phenomenal puller. He's a heavyweight, but don't sleep on James. Don't fucking sleep on James, not for a fucking second, because
It was
you know,
making my fucking heart thump, bro.
yep.
But no, again, thank you. I'm really excited to meet the guy. And like, again, I hope I'm going to probably DM him on Facebook, let him know that, hey, man, don't take anything personal. I'm treating you like this because I respect you as a polar. That sounds rude, but normally if I'm nice to people and I'm not showing anything, it's because I don't know you and I don't.
I think you're giving the warning here.
I'm giving the warning, dude. I'm fucking coming for it. I'm defending my #1 spot in Vermont on January 11th. And
Nice.
fuck Colin King. You dirty Q-tip son of a bitch. You're getting plowed. My
That's
cock's
too
gonna be in your
funny.
mouth for the next 10 years. No, I don't give a shit, dude. Let's go. And then I'm coming to New York and I can't wait.
Oh, Chris.
Is it? Yeah. No, again,
It's
thank you so
February
much.
8th, right? February 8th.
Say again.
February 8th.
February 8th.
And this is it in Fishkill? No. It's
No, this is going to be at New Windsor, so it's going to be a bigger, nicer hotel. Homewood Suites Inn by Hilton. It's going to be 3 times the side. It's going to be nice and wide, so it's not going to be something where it's going to be in the corner or at the end of a venue. It's going to be right smack in the middle of a venue, so you can see it from every single place.
Yep.
hell yeah, dude.
All right.
Um,
I don't want the dog to bark because we
Yeah,
get complaints
I
about that often on our comments. So
but no,
my wife's coming home soon.
can you give me a little insight on Chris Vert? Is he a hooker?
Let's do that off camera. But is it okay if we end the podcast here?
Yeah, of course.
All right, man.
All right, but
Thank
again,
you, Steve, so much, man.
Steve Fernandez,
Not a
the
problem, man.
fucking one. Everyone should follow this guy on Facebook, share his shit as much as we can. We want the sport to get as big as we want it to be.
And Steve is a big proprietor to that. So
Yeah, Steve fucking
thank you.
open
Man.
it and again showing us so much shit and
Absolutely.
open up the states. Dude, I'll tell you what, one day I'll be good enough to be on that team, and I'm gonna change my whole persona. I'll be like the John Cena, the thugonomics.
You're already there.
I'll tell
fucking
you,
do
dude.
it.
I've already been looking for you to be on the team, man, because I've been looking at you full, James. So whoever the way it really goes is that whoever loses their spot has to fight for their next spot. Let's just say I'm picking like Zach Lee to come in the spot, right? So Zach Lee's all open. If let's just say Sam doesn't want to lose his spot, Sam's pretty much saying, well, I'll go up against fucking Zach Lee, and whoever fucking wins is coming to Florida. So that's the way it usually goes. So whoever loses their spot has to fight for it for the next one. You know what I mean? That's if they want to, if they think they can win. If not, then it's a no-go, and then you're on the team.
Hey, you have a podcast, right?
Yeah, I'm on the
Or
podcast
Facebook.
on Mondays.
All right. Do you want to promote it?
Yeah, plug everything. Plug your shop, dude.
Fuck yeah.
We're coming Friday for the tournament, and we're getting a hotel for a couple days. Yeah, and I want to buy shit from the shop. I want to fucking promote the hell out of it. I just want to have a fucking blast while I'm in New York with you guys.
Absolutely.
The after party will be at New York Smoke. We'll be at the VIP lounge like I do every single time now. So
fucking after party.
Yep.
Oh, butt chugs. Let's go.
Yeah. So
No.
it'll definitely be great, man. It'll be
And
be
then-
good.
You guys go live Monday night on Facebook. Is that what it is?
Yeah, Facebook and YouTube. Yep. It's a
All right.
collaborating pull together.
Awesome, man. All right.
Hell yeah, dude. This is 2 guys, 1 cup.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys, man. Phenomenal show like always, guys.
Yeah, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, and pay to our Patreon and our OnlyFans.
We don't have any of that.